Mostly, we have the threat of a federal government that poses states like Texas. And whether it's health care, cap and trade, Second Amendment, protection for the unborn, public education, the federal government is trampling on our rights and trying to push us around. It's time for us to push back. Texans can chart their own path. We don't need the federal government telling us what to do. But we're here today because we need your input. During the panel discussions, please ask the questions so that we can have open discussion and keep the questions as short as possible. We're delighted to have several honored guest speakers with us today. On the stage is our Attorney General, Greg Abbott, who will deliver the opening address shortly. General Abbott. At the Signers Luncheon Program, we'll hear from Governor Rick Perry. Judge Andrew Napolitano will deliver our keynote address. We'll also be joined by many legal and constitutional experts who will participate in 3 panel discussions. The panels will focus on what Texas can do to ensure that the 10th Amendment is respected and the power of the federal government checked. Before we get started, let me say a few words about the Texas Conservative Coalition. We are a group of legislators that formed much like the Tea Parties are forming today. We became upset because people were claiming to be conservatives in Texas, going to the State House, telling their voters they were conservative, and yet when they arrived, we were finding they weren't voting with a conservative group. So we reorganized and emphasized the Conservative Coalition to people that will make them stand to a test. And we have a test of election votes, that every session, if a member does not vote according to our standards on the test of their conservative voting records, they cannot be members of our Texas Conservative Coalition. We currently have more than 65 members who serve in both the House and the Senate. We are the conservative caucus of the Texas House. The Texas Conservative Coalition is committed to the principles of limited government, individual liberty, free enterprise, and traditional values. Our organization holds town hall meetings across the state to give conservative legislators the opportunity to listen to their constituents and develop a conservative agenda for Texas. Let me invite you, if after today you're interested in having a town hall meeting in your district, let us know. I'll say this several times today. Our web address is TXCC, Texas Conservative Coalition, txcc.org. During the session, the Texas Conservative Coalition seeks to pass bills that advance our conservative principles and kill bills that don't. We evaluate every bill that comes to the House floor on these principles, and TCC members typically have the most conservative voting records in the legislature. In the most recent legislative sessions, one of our board members, Representative Brandon Creighton, authored House Concurrent Resolution 50, that the federal government respect the 10th Amendment. Please welcome Representative and TCC board member Brandon Creighton to talk about his bill in the 10th Amendment. Make him welcome, please.